Hello, hello, hello. How we all doing?
Woo!
All
Good
right.
morning.
How many people on this call? Is it just me or you like I think it's just me, but have no idea what most of these songs are about. I know all these songs that they tell a story. Like I know the jingle, I'll recognize the song, I know the refrain, but I have no idea. So just show of hands. How many people have no idea what any of these songs are about? Is it all right? Okay, so it's not just me. Because these songs all have like a meaning. There's a story they're trying to tell, and like I don't know what the hell. So if I play anything and they're like, "Whoa, that's like that song's like about something really really dark or something," like please don't take offense because I have no idea what these songs are about. I just like the beat. I like the refrain. Um, yeah, so glad we got that out of the way. And does anybody want to comment on that? Or for those of you guys that maybe for those of you guys that didn't put your hand up, do you like go and read the lyrics? Do you just think at a different level? I don't know. Can somebody help me here? Justin, what do you got to say on?
I feel like there's two kinds of people. There's people that like you, they listen just for the beat and they like the sound of the song, which is like myself. And then there's people like my husband that actually know the words and they hear the song for what it is. And I'm just like you, like I'll start playing a song. I'm like, I love this song. He's like, do you have any idea what they're talking about? And then when they tell me, I'm like, oh, maybe I don't like this song. So I think it's just based on how we hear it and how you listen.
Oh, cool. Like I know we got DJ Steve on here. So I saw your hand go up. Maybe you can enlighten us, Steve. What do you got?
I've been DJing since 1998, and I'm with you on that. Like, I hear a song, people like it, and I think the majority of people have no idea the meaning behind it. Where my wife, she knows every meaning behind every song, and I actually ran into a jam before, doing the middle, seventh, eighth grade school dances, and all the kids want this. Well, I can't remember what song it was. It was probably like 12 years ago, and this one teacher had to look up the meeting, and it's like, you can't play that, this is about you know this and that. And I'm like, I don't think they know, and I didn't know. I'm like, nobody else seems to care but you. But then all of a sudden she ran to the principal like a Karen, and I had to take that off the request list for the next dance. But I don't think a lot of people look it all up. But that's, I mean,
Yeah.
I have over 70,000 songs I've played over the last 25 years, and I probably know the meaning behind 5%.
You're making me feel better. Jeff and Linda.
Absolutely nothing that makes you feel like a worse parent than to have your little, adorable, angelic children start singing the songs of with wildly inappropriate lyrics. And you're just like, okay, where's the Mother of the Year award for this one? Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, I look at my one of my good friends used to pick me up. The poor guy. He picked me up for like 2 years and drove me to school every morning. And for most people, getting to high school is on time is a challenge, and it was definitely a challenge for us. So it was. I was adding a good 7 or 8 minutes to his morning commute, and he picked me up, and we listened to some of the most awful. Yeah, it sounded great, but some of the most awful lyrics. If my parents knew what was being played in that car, they would have had a conniption. So I guess I don't know. I use some vulgar language here and there. I think it's just a Northeast thing, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem to have affected me that much. So that is the tangent that we went on this morning. Who has got something that is just going right in their world that you got to share with this group? What do you got? I think I was coming up with a new habit stack that I'm gonna have to start tomorrow morning, which is I am terrible with my gratitudes. I know how important it is to be grateful for all the things that we have, especially if you're on this call. I think you're probably doing just fine. We may have some stuff to not be happy about, but overall, I think if you're able to join this call every morning, you're in a good place in this world. And I think I need to habit stack that my 8:30 call actually starts about 8:20. I will do my gratitude and I will make sure that at least I've got something that I can share with this group. So we'll have something good going on every day. So I think that is going to be my new habit stack. I hope you guys can maybe hold me to it. Set my little alarm to go off a little earlier and try and get some gratitude into my life every single day. And that way there I'll have something to bring to you guys. So you guys know I am a huge fan of habit stacking. Anytime I can do it. I was thinking about this one last night because to be honest with you, it is one of my social anxieties is when we get the nothingness on what's going good. It's like a fear of mine. And so I'm always trying to figure out what can we do to kind of eliminate some of those things. So yeah, that's what I'll do. Hopefully starting tomorrow. So let's just get into some real estate. How about that? How about somebody share something that's going on a deal that might be able to help somebody share a win? Margareta.
Morning, all. By the way, about this.
Now, am I supposed to start calling you letter K here? What are we doing?
Sorry, I'm like in the wrong account. I was gonna go messing up with it. It's just one of my other accounts. You know how it is. My other life. Just kidding. But about the songs, I mean, I lived those years, and it was all about the head banging. So nobody cared what the words were, as long as you could do that. And the hair had to go crazy. Anyway, and crunchy hair with the rave hairspray. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, back to my question. I have a property that is occupied, and I wanted to get some tips about showing in a group format. Anybody who has done that can give me some of their best kind of practices around that. Because it's a property that's occupied, and I want to be as respectful of that. It's a situation there. So I guess, how do you guys schedule that? How do you keep track of it? Anything that you got on that, I would appreciate it. Has anybody done a group showing?
I think, and this is not multifamily, right?
No, it's not. It's actually a Victorian, a large home, but there's many occupants involved. So,
okay. I personally think we just need to treat this like multifamily, which is it's going to be a difficult property to show. So we've got to be just doing specific time frames. Ideally, it's one open house and we're done, right? So we got to price this right. We're going to do the one open house. The strategy that I love, especially when you got difficult tenants, is working with the seller to say, hey, we need all the tenants out at the same time so we can show this property. Why don't you offer them something? Tickets to the movies, lunch on me, something, to just make it a positive experience to get everybody out for the times that you need it. So those are a couple of things that come to mind for me. If we're going to try and do group stuff or if we've got maybe what we think is a difficult tenant and getting people out is going to not be the easiest thing, is have some incentive for why they should get out. So I don't know if anybody's done anything like that that could share. I mean, is that kind of what you're looking for, Margareta? Is there other specific things regarding the showings? Like, is it, the condition?
I guess, just more tracking, maybe even the agents, because I could do an open house, but the reason I'm saying it's a group showing because I guess I want to have control of who's going in there. I'm looking for a certain investor type of buyer. So I want to screen that out a bit, I guess, before I let them in. So I don't want to just make it an open house. And so I have Asian representation. I'm looking for a little bit. I guess I am restricting this, and I'm in my mind. I'm trying to just to think now that you said that as an open house. Am I restricting it too much? You know, just maybe too much in my head
I
about
mean,
this.
so you had cut out in the original question for me. I don't know if it was just
Oh.
my mic or what. So I might have missed it. So you're more concerned about the agents that are going to show it than getting these people out of the property, or?
Well, considering it's an occupied property, and I just was curious if anybody who's done like group showings, you know, when I mean, I know for multifamilies, some of these agents will do like a group showing for investors because they want to get them in there for a certain time, get people out, and just get it done. I guess, you know, any best practices around like how do you keep track of the agents? How do you, you know, reach them? How do you kind of screen them? Maybe just anything that you've done that you thought worked well or didn't work well with group showing. So I can kind of have I've never done them, I guess. So I'm kind of trying to see if you guys have any wisdom around it.
Lauren?
First question for you, Margaret. Do your clients want you there? Is it going to be accompanied showings as well?
So no, what I'm trying to do is just do like once a week group showing until it sells.
So then what I would do there, right, is if it's going to be kind of a constant once a week, you have that block available. All right. You put that in showing time. Everything else is blocked off. This is a showing block. And then the difference between like an open house and having that showing block is everybody needs to reach out to you, right? You need to approve the showing before they can go in during that block. So just have those couple of questions prepared that you want to ask them. You want to know of the people that you're going to allow on the property before you accept those, right? So if you only want people who have certain financing to be able to come through, people who only have certain type of portfolios or something like that to come through, ask those questions of the agents that are coming through before you approve those showings if you're really concerned about it. And then if it's like a continuous block that's kind of happening on the regular, get some input from the people that are there on a time that's going to be good for majority at least. You can't please everybody. But then it's a block of time that they know when to be out of the property.
Thank you, Lauren. That's actually a great idea. I didn't even think of using showing time. I thought I was going to have to keep track of them. And you know how it is when you keep track of many calls. So no, I think that actually is a good idea. Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments or have any questions on group showings? Obviously, Margareta, when you're doing, you know, a big group through is personal property, just making sure, you know, especially, I mean, I don't know if these are tenants or these are the owners, but like we got to have anything that's valuable put away. Any prescription drugs are put away and locked up, because when you got a ton of people in there, and this is, you know, same for an open house. We've got to make sure that nothing walks. And typically, you know, we try and get a couple of people. That if you're going to have a large group, it's tough to do it with just one person.
Thank you.
Who else has got a good share for the group? We had something come up the other day. We had an agent reach out to one of our, I don't know if they reached out to one of our agents or to somebody on our leadership team looking for help on one of their open houses, but from another brokerage. So in theory, you can do this. There is some paperwork that would need to be signed. I don't know that this is a great idea, though. I think, you know, so I had said, hey, for us, we're not going to participate in that. If there was some extreme case where we needed to help another agent out or something, and we felt like we could, that it is legal with the right paperwork, seller acknowledgement, etc. But I don't know. I just felt like it just could be messy, And so I don't know if anybody's had any experience with this, worked somewhere else, worked in another brokerage where this was commonplace or has seen a lot of this. Steve.
So I have a bunch of realtor friends, and one of them, I won't obviously say his name, but he knows I'm just starting off, and he was like, "Hey, he's like, you're welcome to come to one of my open houses and snag any unrepresented buyers if you want." And I was like, "Your broker is cool with that?" And he's like, "Probably not," but I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable doing that, kind of mixing brokers and kind of." If his broker finds out, I would think they're not too happy. He should be reaching out to his own people on his team to kind of snag those. So I figured this would be a good time to bring that up, but I kind of politely declined. I didn't feel comfortable, and obviously I wasn't even sure if it would be green lighted on our end. So
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if it was like an emergency and we needed to do it and we needed to help somebody out, or for some reason, I don't know, I can't think, it's just never happened in my, however, I've been doing this since I was 7 as a broker, and I've never had one of our agents do an open house for an agent at another brokerage. So at least not that I'm aware of. But you never say never, and you can legally do it. So but yeah, just kind of like you were feeling, Steve, it doesn't feel right. I think sometimes you'll see it on like higher end luxury stuff. They'll do what are called co-listings. But that is like from the jump, they are co-listing that property. And, I think sometimes there's like maybe a couple of different networks that are coming together to try and move a property. So maybe there is the local agent, but then there is somebody with maybe a little bit more marketing power or a higher influencer that would also be on it trying to gain attention through their network. So the two of them are kind of tag teaming that listing and trying to knock it down. So that type of stuff does happen. And like I said, I think you can see that happen a lot more on the luxury stuff. So Margareta.
Yeah, so I've actually been exposed to this concept for a while now. I'm a part of a group coaching thing, and that's something that the coach is suggesting for lead generation, to try to do that. I feel a little bit odd about it myself, because and as Rovi, you guys have so many agents. Just do each other's open houses. You can do so well. I think it's probably an advantage to a single agent or somebody who doesn't have a good brokerage behind them, or multiple of listings. But I mean, that is something that coaches are pushing out there. That is the one I'm familiar with, to suggest that identify somebody who maybe is too busy to do their open houses, and see if you can get those leads and put yourself out on the market. So just to put that out there.
Yeah, right. If you're at a smaller brokerage, I mean, you just don't have the opportunities and reaching out to agents, but like kind of like what you said, if you're an agent at a bigger brokerage, you're probably wanting agents from your brokerage to do those open houses, or so. Anybody else have any other questions on this one? Somebody raised their hand, but for some reason I'm not seeing it. Oh, Jeff and Linda.
Yeah, hi. We've run into a couple situations with that, where back in Illinois, we found that there was people that would go out and actively solicit doing open homes for other people. We never used them, nor did we ever participate in doing it ourselves for somebody else. We had enough internal business to work with our own company if we weren't doing our own. Down here in Florida, we ran into a situation where we went and viewed a home. It was a competition for one of our homes. Went and saw the place. Go in and talk to the agent that's sitting there. I think one of the challenges is you got to be careful who's going to represent you. If they're not with your company, are they going to maintain the same level of excellence that you're going to provide? And this gentleman, we dubbed him Mr. Happy because he just offered zero about the place. We asked him questions about, I don't know, you got to ask the agent. I don't know, you got to ask the agent. I'm like, you're sitting here, what are you doing? And at this time, we didn't know that he was actually somebody else doing it for a different company. We just assumed it was his open home. Well, we ran into him again later on at a different open home, and the same thing. And I asked him, and we started conversing a little bit more. And at that time, he said, "Oh, this isn't my listing. I'm doing this for a different company." I'm like, "Do they hire you to do this, or you just offered to do this?" He says, "No, we have an agreement." Because I started probing about how he's doing it. He doesn't, just like you said, he gets the unrepresented buyers. That's the agreement. But I think one of the challenges that you have to run into is who's going to represent you in this place. Are they going to maintain the same level of excellence that you're going to expect that I'm promising my clients as a seller's agent? Who's this guy that's going to be in this house? So that's just really one of my concerns. And you've got to do that vetting for these people. So yeah, like I said, this guy, I didn't think he offered anything that I would want sitting in one of my places, my open homes.
And just on that, even if you're at the same company and you volunteer to do it, right? And we see this all the time within our brokerage. Somebody put out there, "Hey, I need help. Maybe they need help with a showing, or they need help at an open house, or you can't just show up and then have that be the answer. That you're going to have to spend some time to study that house. You're going to have to get there 30 minutes early and walk the property and walk, the entire house and look at the details and understand the type of heat that it has. Does it have a hot water heater? Does it have, forced hot water, direct, on demand hot water? Like, to keep, like kind of Jeff is saying, it looks really, really bad when you go, "Oh, I don't know, I'm not the listing agent." That doesn't mean you couldn't have taken the extra 20 minutes to study up the property, and know a little bit about it.
Exactly.
So if you're covering for somebody, take the extra time, please, and be professional. Margareta, did you have something?
Yeah, I just recently talked to somebody who was a seller, and they said exactly the same thing, that they went to some open house or it was a buyer, and they're like, the person who was doing an open house didn't even know about their own property. So that is a key issue. So whoever's doing that open house, including yourself, make sure you know and you got this covered, because people get frustrated. They're like, "What are those agents doing? It's giving us a bad name."
I wanted to share, and we can probably end on this, unless does anybody else have anything that's pressing? Okay. I wanted to share a cool little tip that I just learned about. I'd never heard of this strategy or seen it executed, and I think it's a really, really good strategy with regards to referrals. So typically when you're doing a referral and you got to find somebody outside of the market, you can do your research and try and identify who that agent is. You do the paperwork, you send it out, and then that person handles that referral. And I built this company called Refer to try and help with that process, and it just kind of speeds that up. But the interesting concept around doing the actual referral, I thought was cool, where you take that referral, you get the okay from the seller, right? This is assuming it's a seller referral. And to be honest, I think you could do it with a buyer anyway. But if it was a seller, you've got to get the okay from the seller to market that property. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to put a video out about doing this referral. "Hey, I had this client outside of the marketplace. I found him this great agent. Here's the property. If you know anybody," right? Put it out there. And what you really want to try to do here is you're trying to tell the story that you're not just the local market expert, because your friends and family, they think that all you can do is help them in the local market that you serve. Maybe a couple of zip codes around where you live. But if you can kind of document and tell this story, especially if you could do it on video, get it out onto social, and show that, "Hey, I helped this person even though they're not in my marketplace." Right? So if it was a buyer referral going outside the market, just talk about the story. "I found them this agent. They're a great agent. They ended up buying this home, and I'm so excited for them." And it makes the other agent look good, because maybe you promote the other agent, maybe you tag that other agent in the post, something like that. But really what you're trying to do is show your people that you are that real estate resource. that, hey, if this happens to you, call me. I can still help you. So has anybody seen anything like that executed? Have you seen another agent do it? Have you done something like this? I think typically we just pass the referral and we get the paperwork and we wait for the commission check to come in. I think this is a really cool strategy that if you execute on this on the next referral that you do, it's a great opportunity for you to talk. Now, could you just shoot a video and say all of this? Yeah. Right. But I think when you show it, you actually did it. There's an actual property. There's an actual client, right? Maybe you're even tagging your clients in it. They're happy. Pretty cool. What do you guys think? Easy enough to execute on? What are we thinking? I'm not getting any feedback here. Steve.
Well, I think it's amazing to do that because obviously you're getting yourself out there, you're putting out more content, you're getting more eyes out there, and you're just building credibility. So, I mean, I can't see how it's not a win all around.
I know, even if you're doing a good job with branding, my guess is your people only think that you work in that market that you service. So this is a great way to try and capitalize on even more business. And man, there's no easier money than doing a real estate referral. You know, it might take a little while, but it's pretty easy. And then, you know, you start to kind of be known for that type of a thing. And we're trying to get inbound stuff, right? We're trying to get people to contact us. You know, part of my mission for 2025, you know, kind of wrapping up 2024 is to get you guys to do more personal business. What are the little tips, tricks, strategies, personal branding to grow your personal business? You know, a lot of us are, you know, we're reliant on leads. Right? Even we've got people on here that have been very successful in other markets, but you move to a new market, all of a sudden, all those, you know, past clients referrals, they're going to slow down a little bit. And now we're back to leads. So what are the things that we can do to build up our incoming business? You know, and so I'm trying to document when I see them. And just trying to get a little bit of tips, training. You know, we do a lot of personal development on here, but I want to make sure we're doing a little bit of real estate. Not going to, you know, spend too much time on it. But if I'm going to see something that can help you guys in the personal business side, I want to, you know, I want to talk about it here. And then if you guys are seeing stuff, hey, I saw an agent do this, bring it to this call. You know, hey, I thought this was a good video that somebody put out. Right? Even if we start to share it. I'm happy to give some of you guys the spotlights. If you guys want to take the first 5 minutes of a call, hey, Steve, I saw this cool concept. I'd love to speak to it on morning call, right? Let's do it. We'll have you take the first 5 minutes. So I think if we got some other voices, I got some feedback that some of the agents were saying, hey, let's bring back some of the videos that we used to do, you know, a Tom Ferry video here or there, or you know, my main man, Sharon, I love his stuff. Throw out some of his videos. So let's mix up the voice a little bit. And if you see something, say something. And let's grow this this community together. All right. Appreciate you guys. Have yourselves a great Wednesday, and we will get back after it tomorrow morning. Take care.
Thanks, Steve. Bye,
Bye.
Thank you.
everybody.